Hi, this is Candy Johnson, and I am your host, and this is Real Talk, brought to you by Real Raw Records. Today's topic is anonymous. Anonymous. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it like everybody else pronounces it, but I call it anonymous. But anyway, anonymous, the word anonymous means unknown or undisclosed. Okay, so if someone were to give a gift or donation and not sign their name to it, that gift itself would be considered as anonymous, which means you don't know who the grantor is, or you don't know who the giver is, the contributor, what have you. In the case that someone witnesses a crime and they call in, but they don't want to be attached to the records as being the person who called in and ratted, so to speak, or spoke up, or they don't want to be involved in the investigation. So sometimes it's because they perhaps were involved, or perhaps they are fearful of the people who are involved in the crime, so they don't want to be named in the records. They don't want to go on record as being the one who provided information towards helping the investigation, or helping the authorities to find the person who committed the crime. So people will call in to 911 anonymously. They don't want to be known, okay, who it is that is doing, that's making the call. I was trying to think of all the different ways off the top of my head that people will present themselves, but don't want to be known as the contributor. And let's see. Oh, another way that people access the internet, and this is going to bring it on home. A lot of people access the internet and they use fictitious names to represent themselves. All right. And the reason that they may use fictitious names to represent themselves is some people have very low self-esteem, and for them the internet is an escape place where they can be themselves but not be themselves, so to speak. I'm hoping you understand where I'm coming from, but they get to be somebody else. They get to portray their alter ego, so to speak, the other person that they would like to open up and be, but society or their environment dictates that they don't have that freedom to be who they really are inside. For some people, it's a good thing that they are able to log onto the internet and be somebody else, And so they will get accounts on social media with fictitious names. I know for me, it's very hard to remember the fictitious names, because some people have like whole sentences as a name. It's not like the old days when you get a nickname and you shorten your real name because it was too damn long. Well, nowadays the new thing is get a damn fictitious name that is, damn near a paragraph. Or they have fictitious names that are perhaps the title of their favorite movie or the title of their favorite song or a sentence or a quote, and I'm assuming that people that do that in some way trying to make a statement that they otherwise could not in reality and realistically. All right. But under the umbrella of anonymous, from what my understanding is, and anyone who's watching or come across this, you're welcome to comment or join in the live broadcasting and give us more detailed information as to what the purpose of Anonymous is. But I've done a little research on Anonymous, and because they did pique my interest. I saw a video. I came across the video of supposedly the origin of Anonymous. Okay. And in that video, it was somewhat disturbing to see how Anonymous began, because it began as a bunch of what they call now trolls, people who use fictitious names and troll about on the internet and be very vulgar and disturbing and disruptive in all sorts of manners of behaviors, and somewhere along the line, they became an underground entity of people, and it's not a specific entity of people. From what my understanding, this is anybody can be anonymous. It's sort of like a membership you take upon yourself to say, I agree with what Anonymous doing, so I'm anonymous, basically. But that within itself is sort of, to me, like Christianity, okay, or atheism. There are a lot of people that say that they're Christians, and the original purpose of the lifestyle of Christianity was to love. The source was to love. And people have taken the original purpose of living a wholesome life and attached all these other rules to it, or attached all these other ugly things to it. Yesterday, I was attacked by 3 so-called Christians, admin, teacher, and Suella. All right. and in their behavior, as I saw them, how they interacted, and with their and rode their high horses. I think if I'm not mistaken, I was like, I said outright, this is why I'm not a Christian, and I am very proud of it, because their behavior was repulsive, very repulsive, and it did not was not a good representation of what Christ is all about. It was not a good representation of God at all. As a matter of fact, it was just disgustingly deplorable behavior, controlling, very repulsive, like ill. I would never want to be like that ever again. The more I listen to the Christians, the more I think about, ew, was I like that? Oh my God, but back to Anonymous, I said all that to say this, even with the atheists that think they're better than the Christians, their behavior is very repulsive and undesirable. And so I said all that to say this, with Anonymous, from what I was told, Anonymous is their purpose evolved from just trolling about and being a disturbance on the internet to actually having a purpose. And so they're a group of some people, not all of them, but some are hackers, computer hackers, and they attack entities that try to control other people. So they have actually attacked Scientology, which is a religious group that they try to maintain some level of control over a group of people. I'm not for sure what that's all about, so I don't like to talk about things I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because it make you look like a damn fool. I try to encourage all people to incorporate that rule of thumb. Shut the fuck up if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, all right? But I just brought up that that they had attacked that particular entity because I saw a video, and I didn't quite know exactly why they attacked Scientology, but they did. They shut their phone lines down. They created a disturbance for them, to let them know that whoever and whomever they were creating problems for, sometimes when people have power over other human beings, they go overboard with it, and they do very ugly things, all right? And apparently Scientology had done something that they should not have, that ANON felt was some type of injustice. And so from what I've seen, the overall purpose and what Anonymous has evolved to is a very good purpose, in the fact that they go after the big people, so to speak, that are trying to maintain control, or to cause harm to the little people, And so to me, what Anonymous is a bunch of the little people saying enough is enough, you fucked over us enough, and we're not going to take this shit anymore, all right? And so they're using the power of the internet and just the oneness, you know, to fight back, you know. And I won't say specifically that I am in agreement with all of their actions, but I will say that I have seen where they have done some very honorable, very honorable things, of which I am very thankful for. Just recently, there was a situation where Sandra Bland was lynched in jail in Texas, and I'm from Texas, so I'm very familiar with the racism there. And anyway, she was allegedly killed or murdered, allegedly, in the jail, and what very well appears to be that she was lynched. And lynching is when somebody takes a rope or something and ties it around the neck and cut off the circulation and kills someone by that means. The case with her was very racist, steered, even on her part, I might say. I believe that she was very hostile because, you know, when you've been picked on and picked on and picked on for so long, sometimes people fight back, but they don't do it with the individual who wronged them. They just kind of do a general fuck the world sort of attitude that some people take on. I'm not saying that that was right. I'm just outlining some of the details. All right. But anyway, ANON apparently attacked the police station. I don't know how they did it. I think it was via the phone systems and the computers, and they've also voiced threats, so-called, allegedly. We don't know that they threatened for sure. We didn't hear any evidence of these so-called life threats. And even to say that ANON threatened the life, you couldn't really say that ANON did it, because anyone, even one of the police officers, could have called in and pretended to be ANON. They recorded it and it was, you know, and then they'll say, okay, ANON did this, you know. So that's the loose areas of ANON where people of ANON can take the fall for some inappropriate behavior, because anyone can say, I'm ANON, okay? And even in that regard, I've had some people trolling my broadcast, came in, blurting out nigger this and nigger that. They even made a song about it. I got it on one of my video recordings. And they were very vulgar. They hacked into my record label website, and I hadn't done anything. And so if the purpose of ANON is to attack people that are wronging someone in some type of manner, then I didn't fit the profile. We didn't fit the profile. So because I know that anybody can use someone else's name and behave in a negative manner and cause harm to the reputation of an entity just because they use the name, I didn't take that and run with it and say, ANON is evil, look what they did, you know. I try to be fair in the way that I view things as a whole. All right. And with Anon, the general purposes that I've seen that they have taken on, or causes that they have taken on in activism, I think they are very honorable things. And so these people that are using the word anon or anonymous and saying that they are anonymous, but they're going about doing evil things to people, hacking into their websites and sending the SWAT team to people's houses that are just innocent victims of somebody's inner hate. For example, those that dislike Black people just because we're Black. There are people out there that are wicked in heart, and they will hide behind any mask and do their wickedness. Okay, whether that mask be Christianity. Some people will hide behind scriptures to do their wickedness. Some people will hide behind atheism and say, it's no God, so I can treat people any kind of way. Some people will hide behind Muslim belief to say, Allah said that we can do this. Some people will hide behind anonymous and do wickedness. I said that to say this, that just because a person holds a sign up that says that I'm a part of an entity, and that does not mean that that particular entity condones the behavior. So it behooves us to look into things. I was hoping that someone could come in and add or contribute to the conversation that is aware of what Anonymous is truly about and could give us a little bit of insight. But we'll have another broadcast and give people the opportunity to do that if they like. But in the meantime, in between time, I would encourage you to, whether you're a Christian, atheist, anonymous, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever the fuck you calling yourself, I would strongly suggest that you keep it real. Just take your ass back to fantasy land.